Hey folks, it's Man once again. This is another video from my journey into the 1980s, which I know is getting sidetracked and stuff, but it's hard to go in a row like that. There's just a lot of other stuff I wanted to check out and review for you guys. Random stuff. Makes it more momentum, more fun. But for those who forget or because it's been a while, it's a journey into the 1980s from 1980 to 1989, get into as many movies as I can and go in alphabetical. And I have a playlist down below that shows you each of the film I'm doing, like 1980 from A getting into the B's. And the next one is The Blues Brothers, a John Landis film with John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, Carrie Fisher has a role in it. John Candy has a role in it. Stephen Williams, who I remember as X in the X-Files. He was in Route 666. He has a role in the film. Steven Spielberg has a little cameo at the end of the film. Uh, it's it's a comedy, but it's also a musical because you have people like James Brown and Aretha Franklin, Ray Charles. And overall, I like the Blues Brothers. I don't love the film. I like the film. I saw the extended cut, which was about 2 hours and 27 minutes. I will say it's pretty damn long for a comedy, musical comedy, and I don't think it needed to be that long of a film, but I still liked it. I liked it because I think the cast is cool. It's cool to see John Candy in there. John Belushi, I'm trying to think of all the films he starred in. I know there's this one, there's Animal House. I would say I like Animal House more than this. And then there's Neighbors, which I would say I like this and Animal House more than Neighbors. Neighbors I was never really much of a fan of. Those are the only three films I could think of that he starred in. Maybe there's more. But I know there were characters that they developed on Saturday Night Live. And yeah, not only Aretha Franklin, Ray Charles, James Brown, but also John Lee Hooker and Calloway. Charles Napier, Murdoch from Rambo 2, he has a small role in this. Pretty much John Belushi gets out of jail, gets picked up by his brother, played by Dan Aykroyd. They go to a nun. Nun says they need money. One thing leads to another. They go to a church where James Brown is singing, and this light comes down, and Belushi's like, "I seen the light," and then they're on a mission from God, pretty much to get the money, about $5,000. They gotta reunite the band, and along the way they go through a lot of destruction. There's a scene, and I will be honest, some of the stuff I feel could have been taken out for the pacing. Like, I think the stuff with Carrie Fisher is fun. Carrie Fisher, you find out, was going to be married to John Belushi, and John Belushi left. So throughout the film, Carrie Fisher is trying to kill the Blues Brothers, which got me a couple chuckles. There's one time where she like shoots a flamethrower, things blow up, and the telephone booth they're in flies up and falls back down. She has explosive, blows up the building that they're in. And the way it's done is pretty cool. It's practical. And inside, you have, I don't know how to describe it, but how the Blues Brothers are in their room, they sort of, the ground caves in, they fall through. Just something about it this made me chuckle. I don't know what it is. Maybe the cartoony part of it, I don't know. That's cool to see Carrie Fisher in a film other than Star Wars, because I like The Burbs. I liked her in this flick. I like that part, but like, this is one part where they're driving through and there's these neo-Nazis. One of them is Henry Gibson, who would also be in The Burbs. And they're like, oh, we must get them. All that stuff didn't need to be in there. It's just pretty much to extend the time that's already too long. There's also a part where they really don't have a place to play, and Belushi sort of bullshits his way, hey, let's play this country and western bar. And they sing the song Rawhide. and then really supposed to be Charles Napier's band, and then they got pretty much their gig taken away, and they chase the Blues Brothers. Like, all that stuff didn't need to be. It could have just been the cops, the destruction, the car crashes, chasing the Blues Brothers, and them getting the band back together. It's just the stuff with the neo-Nazis, the stuff with the country and western guys, really just, you just made it. Let's get the film to like 2.5. A comedy does not need to be 2.5 hours. That's why I don't love the film. But I like the film. I thought Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi gave good dry delivery of their lines, of dialogue. Anytime Dan Aykroyd says, "We're on a mission from God," made me smirk. And if people ask, I'm not touching Blues Brothers 2000. I know John Landis directed that, but he also directed Beverly Hills Cop 3 as well. One thing that surprised me, this might be the earliest time that you hear the phrase, "fuck this noise," because I've heard that phrase before, "fuck this noise." Did that come from this movie? Because when the nun is beating the shit out of them, it just surprised me. Like, Dan Aykroyd says, "fuck this noise," and leaves, and I'm like, that's where this is from? I've heard that phrase. If it's from this movie, I never knew that. So, you learn something new every day. The car crashes and the stunt work is well done, plentiful. I like the score. They go through a shopping mall. At the end, when they're going through the city and cop cars just pile up. Definitely some good practical stunt work with the cars and car crashes. A lot of cars did crash in this movie. The musical numbers, I'm not a big musical guy. I mean, I like Labyrinth, which has musical numbers, like Magic Dance. I like Little Shop of Horrors. I'm sure there's a couple other musicals I could think of. I just have to look it up, like a list of musicals. And some of these are okay, but I'm not a big R&B guy. I mean, James Brown, Aretha Franklin, they're alright. They're just not the kind of music I listen to. I mean, they're alright. I'm not going to say they're bad. For some reason, I thought Aretha Franklin would sing Respect, but I think that's the sequel. She sings a different song in this flick. And it's just, if you're not into R&B musical numbers, then you're not really going to get much out of it. Like when James Brown is singing, when in the end, when they're singing to the crowd for the big concert to get the money, when they're singing Rawhide, which is not R&B, but still. I guess it just depends your cup of tea, what's your taste in music. My taste is more AC/DC, Metallica, that kind of thing. Or John Cafferty or something like that. So, it just depends. Rocky Horror Picture Show I don't mind either. Think of musicals. Like that's, I would say I probably like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Little Shop of Horrors, Labyrinth more than this. But I mean, the musical numbers are okay. They're there. It's just, do you prefer that music or not? Some stuff that I thought of. Interesting that Dan Aykroyd's character, all he likes is white bread. Toasted white bread, that's all he wants. Even when they get the Aretha Franklin, they get one of the bandmates, that's what he orders, white bread. What's funny is at the end, they play in a prison. It was kind of sad in the fact that not only did the Blues Brothers get arrested, they're playing in jail, but for some reason the whole band is in jail. I'm like, what did the band do? I mean, the Blues Brothers were the only ones doing the cars, crashing, chasing. What did the rest of the band do? Why is the rest of the band in jail? Why are they in prison? I mean, that must suck for them. Be like, what the fuck? I'm in jail? I didn't do anything, you asshole. What the fuck? It's like, I didn't. What did they do? They didn't do anything wrong. But yet they get put in jail. John Belushi, I think, does a good job. But if I had to be honest, I did not grow up with John Belushi. I did not grow up with that Saturday Night Live. I've really never seen that Saturday Night Live he was on, and Bill Murray, and I didn't. I mean, good luck trying to find that on YouTube. I think there's a season 1 set. I don't have that. So I've never really seen that, so I can't say, oh, I grew up with the Saturday Night Live thing. And I've seen those 3 films I mentioned. This, Animal House, and Neighbors. And Neighbors I didn't care for. Animal House I preferred because I got a few more laughs out. I got more laughs out of that. And it wasn't 2.5 hours long. Granted, I saw the extended cut, but the original cut, even that, is, I think there's only like a 5-minute, 10-minute difference. I don't think it's that much of a difference. But like I was saying about Belushi, I grew up more with James Belushi. Like James Belushi, I grew up more with The Principal, K-9, Red Heat. I would say between the two, I like James Belushi more than John Belushi. It's nothing against John Belushi, but James Belushi, yes, I do like K-9. I admit, I do really. I think The Principal is a really underrated flick. Red Heat, I think it's a good. I reviewed that. It's a fun buddy cop film that he did with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Even his bit role in Jingle All the Way was fun. I think between the two, I like. I'm repeating myself already. Shit. I'm trying to make this review longer because I'm running out of shit to say. I'm gonna repeat. Yeah, I like James Belushi more. I already said that like 4 times, but I like James Belushi more. The film is pretty. That's the thing. It's always tough to review a comedy because what makes you laugh doesn't mean it's just going to make someone else laugh. I feel, for me personally, if the film was shorter, if it was under 2 hours, 90, 100 minutes long, if you didn't have the neo-Nazi, and I like Charles Napier, but his character's barely in it, and the whole thing with the rawhide, that wasn't needed. The songs, I mean, Ray Charles and Aretha Franklin are talented, it's just not the music I listen to. Although Ray Charles does have a fun moment, I just remember this now, where he owns a music store, and of course Ray Charles, for those who don't know, he's blind. Hey, there's some people who may not know who Ray Charles is. He's blind, and there's a kid sneaking around while he's talking to the Blues Brothers, sneaking around to try to touch a guitar, and Ray Charles just brings out a gun, shoots near the guitar, and the kid runs away. And just out of blue, you never think Ray Charles is going to shoot a gun at a kid trying to touch a guitar. It was so, I didn't expect it. That's what made me chuckle. And yeah, I could tell there was definitely a budget behind this because when the building explodes and it caves in, and then you have people inside, and that's well done. Nice to see John Candy in there. John Candy is in there for a little bit as, see if I can get his character's name. Burton Mercer, who is I believe he's like a cop, like police officer, trying to help Stephen Williams and the other patrol guy find the Blues Brothers. Frank Oz has an appearance in the beginning of the film as the corrections officer, letting John Belushi get out of prison. Let's see. Pee Wee Herman himself, Paul Reubens, he has a small role as a waiter. Like I said, Steven Spielberg is at the end. Worked in the office when the Blues Brothers are trying to cash the check, or trying to get the check so that it's been received for the nuns. And then when they turn around, there's like 100 guys with machine guns at them, and then a wide shot. There's some nice smirk-worthy shots in this flick. Also, Twiggy has an appearance in this, and people are like, who the hell is Twiggy? Well, she's a model, also acted in movies. I also remember her from, I believe it was Club Paradise. I'm pretty sure it was Club Paradise with Robin Williams. I'm trying to look through her filmography. I could be wrong. Yeah, she was in Club Paradise. I think she was also in Body Bags, weirdly enough. But so I'm like, oh, I remember her from Club Paradise. Yeah, I would say I like Club Paradise more than this. I have more chuckles out of it. But I'm not trying to make this out like I don't like the film. I do like the film. It's just I know it's garnered as a classic, and I don't think of it as a classic, but I think of it as, if I saw it for cheap, for $2-3, I'd pick it up on DVD. I don't know if there's any features on it. Yeah, the Blue Brothers, some fun car crashes, car chases. Belushi and Dan Aykroyd play their roles well. The music, it's not the stuff I listen to a lot, but it's a lot better than a lot of the music today. So, gotta be honest with that. Some nice appearances. Oh, there's John Candy. There's Pee Wee Herman. You know, there's Steven Spielberg at the end of the film. And I like the score. I already mentioned the score. Again, just too long. Bit too much stuff in there. Carrie Fisher was fun. Didn't need the neo-Nazis. Didn't need the rednecks. The senior rawhide at the bar. I think all that stuff could have easily been cut out and help with the pacing of the film. But overall, I like the film. So, thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you in the next video. Later.